Know Your Candidate. Presented by Portland is Possible, broadcasted by XRAY FM. In this segment, we offer a brief background on the visionary candidates that are proudly standing and running for the acclaimed Portland Area City Council. For now, we have a candidate of District 2 that incorporates St. John's, Kenton, Hayden Island, Mississippi, and Alberta neighborhoods.
My name is James Armstrong. I'm running for Portland City Council District 2. I'm a small business owner, a forensic accountant, and a father of kid in Portland Public Schools.
What attractions should Portland grow to make this a better place for people to live, play, and visit?
So I'm the father of a 4- and 6-year-old, so most things that I interact with are kid-friendly activities. So the first thing on my list would be growing our parks, making them more accessible for kids, making more activities that are kid-friendly. Bringing that into our restaurant spaces. I really love bringing my kids out to some of the local areas that have kid-friendly playgrounds in the back, making sure the sidewalks are accessible, making sure that it's encouraging to get families out to experience Portland. And then bringing that into some of our bigger events, whether it's the Timbers, the Thorns, hopefully the Blazers can turn it around soon. Any activities to bring the family out, really build memories, and make people remember what's important about Portland.
How can the city best support Indigenous cultural preservation?
I think a model to start with would be looking at what's happened in Northeast Cully Park, working closely with NAIA. We've seen that park grow and become a great public space, and it had a lot of input from the Native American Indigenous community. I think that's a model that we can use throughout Northeast Portland, specifically probably starting in the Cully area. There's a lot of additional areas for development around the old Colwood Golf Course. And just having an open and welcoming city council that brings in all voices, specifically those from communities that haven't been listened to in the past.
How can the city best support the growth of small businesses owned by those with historically marginalized identities?
So I've found the best way to support small businesses in Portland is with a local approach. I used to be the chair of Alberta Main Street, where we worked a lot in the Alberta area with business owners from all backgrounds, including those long-term business owners from the Black community. What was successful about what we did is we built relationships in the community. We got to know property owners. We had more of a localized approach. And I compare that to what I've seen from the city recently with more of a top-down approach, large grants coming in without a lot of input from the small businesses. So what I would like to see is a return to that community-based approach to small businesses, really taking input from the retail business districts and having that engagement happen from the bottom up.
How does the city best support visionary public-private community projects?
Yeah, so speaking about the Albina Vision Trust and the revitalization of Lower Albina, we're seeing a lot of amazing work being done by the visionaries at the Trust, by the 1803 Fund, and by some just fantastic community organizers. What the city can do is help out with the boring stuff. There's work happening with the Broadway corridor that's going to interact with Lower Albina. There's a lot of transit-related activity that needs to happen. There's public safety-related improvements that need to happen. So the city can really be a partner in handling some of the nuts and bolts that go into some of these big projects and really get behind these visionary leaders to make sure that we can help them achieve their overall goals.
The Central City has become unaffordable for most Portlanders to live and less attractive to work in or visit. Is that a problem? What's your vision for the future of the Central City?
I do think it is a problem that the Central City has become a less desirable place for people to visit. When I look at growing small business, bringing back activity to the Central City, I look at what it would take me to want to expand one of my businesses downtown or into the Lloyd area. And it really comes down to demand. We need to make those places a space where people want to come, where people want to shop, visit, feel safe bringing their families. And then we're going to see the type of small business revitalization that we're all hoping for. We don't need large tax breaks. We don't need to incentivize certain activity. We really just need to get back to what made Portland special before: safety, fun, just a really desire to come out and enjoy the city. And you'll see the Central City will start to turn back around.
Lightning round. If you could wave a magic wand to make one thing happen in Portland, what would you do?
Free TriMet.
What events or place in Portland that no longer exists do you wish you could bring back?
The Thirsty Lion, specifically on 2nd Street, because that's where I met my wife.
Should Portland offer a universal basic income for artists?
Not yet.
Would you describe Portland as more grunge, more jazz, or more indie pop?
Whichever one emo falls into.
If you couldn't live in Portland, where would you want to live?
Lake Tahoe.
So now you know your candidate, or a bit about them. We like to thank the visionary candidates, also like to especially thank all the volunteers and organizations that put this together. We couldn't do this without you. To look at each candidate, be a good Portland citizen, and to be a dashing and informed voter, listen to X-Ray FM to learn about ballots and the new ranked choice voting system. And check out portlandpossible.org.